Welcome or welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be getting a dose of makeup and the things that I wish I knew. Okay, I'm going to be giving you 5 tips on the things I wish I knew before I started doing my makeup. Okay, so get your notepads, get your pens, get your makeup, get your little drink, your water, whatever it may be, and let's get into it. Hey beauty babes, I hope you all are doing well. I haven't made a makeup video in quite some time, so hopefully I'm not too rusty, not too dusty. But before we get started, I'm priming my face. I'm actually testing out a couple of primers. I'm testing out the e.l.f. primer and the Milk primer against each other. So I'm reapplying it because I did it for a little TikTok. Now I'm actually filming a video. And it dried up, so I just want to make sure my face is nice and evenly primed. I definitely have some tips that I can share with you that for me totally make sense and that I wish I would have known as soon as I started getting into makeup. I'm gonna give you guys 5 tips for beginners on what I wish I knew when I started to do my makeup. Tip number 1 is going to be, you need to be familiar with your skin type. Before you get into foundation, I believe you need to know what your skin type is. Do you have a more oily skin type? Do you have a more dry skin type? Do you have a more combination skin type? You know, these are the kind of things you want to find out, do a little bit of your research on before you totally jump into doing your foundation or starting your makeup. What I notice with the beauty community right now, you see a fresh new foundation, you run and go get it, and then you might not like it. You probably have to return it, or let's say you don't want to return it because you're like, oh no, I don't want to return, you know, like then you have that whole situation. Not all foundations wear the exact same. So not all foundations are the same, okay? Some are matte, some are glowy, some are semi like soft matte. So you want to make sure that you know what your skin type is, so you can buy the right foundation and it'll help make it a little bit easier on yourself. Now the second tip, why I made it number 2, is because so you know what kind of skin type you have, now you need to pay attention to what kind of foundation finish it is that you are trying to achieve. Are you trying to achieve a more glowy look? Are you trying to achieve a more matte look? These are some questions that I believe you need to ask yourself before you just start buying any kind of foundation. Especially if you're trying to be more mindful and more planet positive, then you definitely want to do your research so you're just not buying, returning, or just throwing away stuff. You know what I mean? If you have oily skin, I really wouldn't suggest using glowy foundations because it's going to be glow sitting on top of oil, which is going to be even more glow. So you're going to be looking very, very shiny. And if you have dry skin, I really wouldn't suggest using matte foundations because matte foundations are going to dry your skin out even more. And that's where I really had to learn a lesson for myself because I'm a lover of a matte foundation, okay? I think it just makes your face look extra snatched, extra smooth. It's just it just looks good to me. But where I learned my lesson was not being familiar with my skin type, okay? So I would put on these matte foundations and then my skin be looking extra dry and I just didn't understand why. I really just couldn't understand why, like, my face just looked so matte that it didn't look good. It just did not look good. So being familiar with your skin type and then knowing what kind of foundation finish that you like is really good, because if you have a normal skin type, you can pretty much wear any foundation based on how you're feeling, like if you want to look glowy or, you know, just based on however you're feeling. Tip number 3, makeup is a trial and error process, okay? You're gonna do some looks and they're gonna look great. You're gonna do some looks and maybe they're not gonna look great, okay? It's all trial and error. And if you keep trying to do your makeup like somebody else right off the bat, that's the fastest way to discourage yourself and the fastest way to not learn your own way of doing it and creating your own techniques. You know what I mean? You'll look crazy sometimes. Your foundation color will not match. funny story. I remember when Fenty Beauty first came out, and I had a couple of foundations that I thought I was in between, and there was one color that I was like, oh yeah, this is my color. It took my hairdresser to tell me, I don't think that's the right color. She was like, you look really orange. And it's not until she said something that I went home and I was like, oh wow, I look oranger than a Oompa Loompa on a Willy Wonka movie. So as you learn to do your makeup, take your time, even have practice days, and just understand that you'll learn everything as you continue to practice, okay? So trust in the process and just know that practice makes progress. Tip number 4, you're definitely going to be buying and returning things. That comes with the whole trial and error process. You're gonna be buying things and you're gonna be returning things. So getting into makeup really isn't for the frugal gal. It really isn't for the gal who doesn't want to spend money, because it costs to buy makeup, and sometimes you don't get the right color. Sometimes it doesn't look cute, and you know, what are you gonna do? And since I know this is gonna be happening, here's some side tips to that tip. When you find a brand that you like, see if they have travel sizes, see if they have testers. You can even go to the dollar store or Amazon. You can buy some little tester pack where you can go into a store, get a little tester of foundation, try it on outside, try it on in the light, natural lighting, whatever, and you can go back to purchase it if you want and if the store allows it. Just don't go into no store and just opening up stuff, because that's not right, okay? Not right. And when it comes to buying and returning, do your research to see what makeup brand that you like the most has a foundation, a concealer, and a powder, pretty much the whole package. Because one thing I can tell you is that the band of products that come together usually work best together, and that would save you a lot of coin instead of buying a concealer here, a powder there, a foundation here. Try one brand, get everything you need, learn how to use the things before you start venturing out. I'm almost done with my makeup, and we've made it to the last tip. Tip number 5. So for my last tip is just to make sure you're having fun, okay? Make sure you're having fun and take your time. You know, there's no rush. You don't have to be a pro makeup artist by tomorrow, because makeup doesn't have to be like this super serious thing that, you know, you need to master. Mastery will come with time, okay? I feel like I lost a little blush, so let's top that off, because you can never have too much blush, baby. No, 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 never too much blush. Those were all the tips that I have. Now let's just finish off this face. I brought you guys in a little bit closer to see the final look. Yes, y'all, this is the final look, and I am happy with it. She's super cute. Ready for her man to get home. Her, like, I'm not talking about me. Ready for my man to get home, okay? This look is super cute. I'm actually gonna be meeting up with a girlfriend later, so I'm happy with the way this look turned out, and I'm so glad that you watched this video. If you enjoyed my 5 tips on the things that I wish I knew before I got started into this makeup world or this beauty community, comment down below, and I definitely have some more tips, so let me know if you want some more tips. And don't worry, all the details of this makeup are down in the description box, so check down there. That's where everything is. And thanks for getting a dose of Chrissy, and I'll see you in the next video. Deuces.